Hi guys, and happy weekend once again. I hope that everybody had an amazing week, and as you can see in Hair Talk, yeah, I did a thing. I know that I dyed my hair. I got my hair dyed about a week and a half ago, and it was this amazing copper, this amazing red, but you guys know me, and I've always, most of my life have had dark hair, and it was my favorite color. This copper was amazing, but it was just, sometimes you look in the mirror and you're like, I don't know who I am right now. I was feeling this thing, and so I just went ahead and re-dyed it my normal, my normal natural black color, and now I'm feeling more like myself. And as you can see, I straightened it to see the length because October 1st will be 6 months since I started letting it grow. So not so bad, not too bad, right? So today we are taking a look at the energy for next week, and I believe this is going to be the week of... Is it September 28th. So we're reading for the energy of September 28th to October 3rd. Now next week we know that we have the magnificent full moon in Aries while we are in retrograde with Mars. So that's going to actually be some pretty exciting energy. So the decks that we're using today, we might be using the Goliath Tarot. We have some decks here. We have on the table the Goliath Tarot, we have the Illuminated Earth, we have the Faceted Garden Oracle, and we have the Nordic, what is this one called? Oh my gosh, the Nordic, I have it all written down here. I'm at the age that I just grab tarot because it calls my attention. The Magical Nordic Tarot, there we go. So let's go ahead and take a look at the energy for next week. Now, as you can see, we have our beautiful heart here, and this guy is a carnelian heart. He's about 20 pounds. I don't know if I don't even want to pick it up. Right, but we're going to be going ahead and placing our cards here. So let's go ahead, and basically what I always tell people is to remember that this is a collective reading, so not every card will speak to you, right? So take what you need and leave what you don't need. Let's say that you're watching this way after the week of September 28th. It doesn't matter. If you made it here, it's for a reason, so take that message. Remember that you guys can schedule your readings. We are now scheduling for March 2021. I know it is a long wait, you guys, but it will be worth it. You could go to www.lightwitchtarotshop.com and just choose the reading that calls you the most. I will be emailing you your reading date. A lot of you wonder how they work. I record them and you can watch them at any time, right? All of our pine candles are also on sale for $20, and most of our readings are on sale for $35. So if you want to hang out with me for a little bit, head over there. So okay, so let's go ahead and see what we have. I love this. We have our shadow self, and we have the mask. So what we see here is definitely the call for shadow work. When we see these two cards together, what I feel this is talking to us about, this is about that dark inner swamp. When we see the shadow self, this is time to really go within your hearts, to get really go within yourself, because you're being called to work with that inner energy of yours, especially your shadow, and kind of help it come into the light. So what we see with this energy next week is you may find yourself just a little bit not in the mood to deal with petty energy, and that's perfectly okay. You may actually find yourself next week detaching a little bit, feeling like you just you want to be left alone, right? Because basically what you're doing is you're going to unconsciously or even consciously be facing your shadow, right? So this is going to lead you into a more of an understanding yourself, and it's working with your shadow kind of helps you see yourself in all of your true beauty, right? In light and in darkness. So what we're seeing with this is, next week you may find yourself having the tongue of a viper. The tongue of a viper is something my grandmother always said was a woman that never kept it in. She just said things how they were. You may actually be feeling more blunt next week, and you may actually be letting people have it. Just do it as long as you're doing it out of your root and you are feeling good about yourself and there's respect respect there. This is really not a time for you to stay quiet anymore. Speak up. Whatever you have repressed needs to come out to the surface. You tend to kind of help everybody, but you tend to kind of stay quiet in a lot of situations because you like to avoid conflict, because conflict doesn't feel good for you. It's not that you're afraid. It's that you just don't want to have drama. You don't want to have conflict. But here and there comes a time that you may find yourself having to speak up. So if that's the case, speak up next week, let them know. You need to set boundaries too. You need to be respected as well. Now, what we see here is El Mask, right? And this is your hidden wolves. So what we see here is you may be dealing with people next week. And remember, we're in Mars retrograde and we're going to have that Aries full moon. So there's going to be a lot of fire in the background. So what we see here is people may be lacking empathy. People may be lacking empathy, and somebody around you may be trying to use pity to manipulate you one way or another, because basically you sympathize with people. You're a healer. You have this energy. So you got to be careful with those people wearing a mask. This is kind of like that card that says heads up. If there's somebody in your life trying to use pity to manipulate you because they want something from you, and these are the people that will come with some stories and we feel bad for them, and then we fall into the trap, and then we're like, oh, why didn't I see this? You just be very careful next week. Really, really trust your gut instinct. And there is just probably somebody around you that wants you to do something for them or needs something from you. It might have been someone that you have already set boundaries with, and they're just trying to sneak back in. So really, really trust your gut instinct. You have the energy to see beyond their words. Really trust the energy that you're getting. Next week is definitely a great week for you to be observant. Instead of jumping to conclusion, just observe them. There's a lot that people say with their energy that they don't realize that we read, right? So when we see this energy, it's actually quite very interesting. Now, what I want to do is I want to follow with 2 more cards, and let's go ahead and see. Okay, so we have definitely working with connections and release. So we still see that energy is pretty amazing. Next week is definitely a week that we're going to be working with connection. A connection to the self mostly. We will feel a little bit detached from everybody around us, but we definitely want to work with that connection as well as release. It's a major week of releasing. We have that full moon coming, which is a great time to let go. So seeing the release, and we almost see that full moon in that card. It's actually very in tune with the energy. So this is actually pretty amazing to have. Now, you definitely want to connect with your energy from within and work on releasing what you know is ready to be let go of. This is something that you know within you already. This is something that maybe you have been working on. Maybe this next full moon is a great time to cut ties with someone, to just release. And it's something about you carrying something with you that is no longer yours to carry. So it almost feels like you may be carrying other people's burdens with you. You may be feeling the weight of the world within you. So allowing yourself to cleanse your energy and allowing yourself to release what no longer serves you. This is also working with that deeper connection with the self, hence why we're seeing next week so much energy of shadow work. I mean, this goes to the T with the energy that we have at the moment, because we know once we enter fall, it is shadow work season. So for me, it's fall and winter. The earth goes dormant, and so do we. We kind of go into the caves like the bears. And so it's really we're entering a time to really work with ourselves, to really say, I can love myself. I'm a nice person. I'm a nurturing person, but I also cuss a lot, and I'm not that patient. But that is okay. Instead of battling these things that belong to us, the shadow just kind of says, embrace everything about you, the good and not so good, because it's all the yin and yang, right? We can't all be good. There's negative aspects about ourselves that we may find ourselves embarrassed about, or a work in progress. And that is amazing that we're a work in progress, but just embrace every single aspect of yourself. There is power there. There is beauty there, right? So I hope that you guys have an unbelievably amazing week, and I will see you guys next weekend. So lots of love and light to you all. I love you, and blessed be. Bye-bye.